and the goat came back to life. My senior brother was there. And nobody liked to come and say thank you to anything. Look, my father, if you talk to my father, you think he's not listening. He will sit down like this, and you are saying your problems. He will not even look at your face. He's looking somewhere. Once you are done, if it's maybe sickness, whatever, he says, go and buy, there's an ointment. It's called Rob. Those days we have Rob. So go and buy Rob. Bring it, he will hold it like this. Say a simple prayer. Say, use it before you sleep. Cancer, fibroid, it will melt. Not even a thank you. Sometimes you will hear the testimony through people. This person says she came to you and the person didn't even come back to personally say, I took my own teacher to my father because he had problems. So I will never have said, okay, to God, I will do your work. I will not, unless he kills me, I will never do it because we saw it. So God was smart. Before I realized, I was preaching. So how did it happen? Because, look, do you know how many pastors? Look, there was a conference in Nigeria. And then the man of God who was holding the conference, a lot of pastors were there. It's a pastor's conference. He said, every pastor here who is fighting high blood pressure, get up. Almost everybody got up. All the pastors. Why? Ministry. It's hard. You can't sleep. You are thinking about a lot of things. By the next morning, you know your blood is not normal. How many pastors' wives are very lonely? Do you know how many pastors commit suicide every year? Because there's nobody holding their hands. Everybody saying, Pastor, pray for me. Who cares for the pastor? That is why those who are partners, God doesn't joke with them. A man who was a partner in this church I'm talking about, that they were sponsoring billions of copies, they kidnapped his son. But because he was a partner with his wife, how the boy was released, they were all surprised. Because they thought he was dead. That's what I'm telling you. There are some things you will never have to pray. Because you are a partner with God in his agenda. If you are a partner with a meat seller, will you lack meat? So if we are a partner with God, Paul says that we are laborers together with God. So there are some prayers you are worrying yourself. You should have to even get into that situation if you were ever a partner with God. If you were ever a partner with God, you will never have to get into that situation. You will never. I was here one time, maybe 2 months ago. I wanted to pray. I couldn't pray. I sat there. I said, God, I can't pray today. My mouth wants to open and pray, but the words are not coming. And you know what he told me? He said, do you know why you feel like this? Because you are the only one. That's what he said. So you are the only one. You are the only one. It was like people were sitting on my shoulders. I felt so thick. So much burdens. Yeah. But where is the partner? Where are the partners? So you go back home and it's only you and your wife. It's finished. There's nobody holding your hands. Nobody supporting you like they should. But when God gives a vision, in Habakkuk, he says, write the vision down so that whoever reads it will carry it forward. You are the pastor, you have to go and get the souls to come to church. We come to church. I mean, we have to also go and look for people to come to church. Because they think the church is yours. They think the church is yours. I promise you before God, if I wanted something to be mine, it won't be church. Because this thing called church, it can kill you easily. Dealing with people's spiritual protection. You have to account for people's life. How can that be something you want to have? I don't understand. I don't. I don't. So, like when you go to the big churches and you see that it's like the pastor's life is easy. It's not just because it's easy. There are people holding his hands. There was an archbishop in Ghana. He's called Archbishop Duncan Williams. Every day there are people praying in his house. Every day they come and pray. He feeds them and he says, "Thank you for coming to pray. Take food." Because they pray for about 7 hours before the next group will come. That's their job. Praying in his house. So when you go to, you will hear people praying. They have done a lot of things to him. It can't work. They've done so much attack. It doesn't work. Attacked his marriage, his children. One of his children, you should see him. Hi, that guy is a weapon. But the man is still there. He started the charismatic movement in Ghana. He was in trouble. Nobody was helping him. He came to US and had to hide himself. Because back in Ghana, he was in trouble. Only 2 people flew from Ghana to go and look for him and give him money. These 2 people, he said, as you have celebrated me, the world will celebrate you. Bishop Dag part. They had doing so well because they went to hold his hands. You don't want one thing that is so even. Let me give you a simple thing. Imagine I've been here throughout the night, right? Being with the Lord. And then he has visited, giving the message to preach with all the anointing. And then you come, and those who think they will even come to you, don't come. What happens to the anointing? It frustrates you. Right there, you don't feel like preaching. Because the presence God brought, and he didn't bring that presence just for the man of God. It's for the people. When they don't come, that's not the problem. But what they have missed, that's the problem. Are you getting the problem? The whole thing. Unless there's a serious excuse, that is different. But when it's easy to come, and then they've missed. They miss. Like I told you before, how a lady missed her visa. It's simple. So all the beautiful thing that happens, it dries up. It dries up. And then you are even sad. So I was casting out a demon 2006. It was a demon of lust in the girl. Myself and a friend called Benjamin. As we were casting, myself, Benjamin, Praise was there, and another girl called Pearl. We were students. Come out! And the girl is there. 2 + 2. The demon was not leaving. I said, what? So I turned to the Lord. I said, what is going on? And he said, the girl who has that demon, she likes it. So the demon is staying. That's why the demon is messing with you. Come out and you say 2 + 2. You go to who? So I told them, but they were serious. As I stopped, the Lord just spoke to me. She likes the demon. Leave her. So we left her. I said, get up. Sorry to waste your time. Go home. And I looked at her, and you could see her future. That demon will kill her. How do you sleep like that? knowing a demon that you could just say go and it will go is going to kill somebody and take her to hell. Why do I want this life? Just think about it. Why do I want this life? A life that you are thinking. You hear something about somebody in the church and you're like, oh God, let it go, let it go. Look, I was teaching. It was exams time for the students. And I was a supervisor for the examination that time. I had question papers for the students for all the classrooms. As I was going, I had a call. I picked the phone. Hello. He said, this member in the church has been rushed to the hospital. Right there, I had diarrhea. My heart fell. Because they said, she's looking pale. And when the doctors check, she doesn't have one blood. And somebody must get her blood. How do I get there before she even dies? So, somebody said, there was a guy who is connected to her. He's running to the hospital to get. When they got to the hospital, they said, oh, we can't even get your blood here. You have to go to another clinic. And the woman was just there. They don't care. That's why some pastors, they are very strict. If you want me to pray for you, you will sow seed. At least, if you don't come back to say thank you, I took the money. That's why some of them are like that. But if you do that to you, you will hurt God. So some pastors, you call them, oh, I want to see, I have a problem. He says, all right, I will pray for you, but $1,000. Or else go somewhere, wherever you want to go. They will charge you. You want them to, sit with you. You have a problem, talk to the pastor, 500, put offering there right now. I will not attend to you. Because they know how people have betrayed them before. How people have broken their heart. So then they will take the money. One man of God was traveling. At the airport, he saw another man, very rich man. He said, Papa, you are here. He said, yes. Why are you going? He said, I have to go and preach in this country. Oh, then he said, this guy has money. I have to get some. Then he looked at him and said, do you want, what problem do you have? I can pray for you. So, this business deal is there. Okay, drop this amount. And he dropped the money. He took it, prayed for him, and he said, God, if you don't do it for him, it's up to you. I took the money. It's because of frustration. And he said, God, I took the money. And actually, God did it. So, now, many pastors are not after God's vision. They are after the money. They are not God's vision. They don't care. Because they started very well, wanting to please God. And the people they were ministering to broke their heart. So now, it's money. So they have two lines, personal line and public line. To get their personal line, that you can call them anytime they will pay. You must be giving like 3,000 every month. Yeah. And they know how to pray for you. Even if you don't get answered, they don't care. Are you going to sue them? They didn't ask you to force their money out of you. It's because of ministry frustration. Okay, what if I also stop church and stay at home? You can stop church and stay at home. That one is a good option too, right? You can stop church, stay at home, or somebody say, I will just stay home and read my Bible. Of course. It's also a good deal. But one thing, for the fact that you also stayed home and didn't do nothing for God, you were also in trouble. Because you were staying home for yourself. What happened to God's will for you? What happened to God's will for you? Are you catching the picture? What happened to God's way? What happened to what God wants you to do as a person? We read Ephesians. He says, before, ahead of time, he had created what we should do. Do you understand? So he says, the partners, they are so dear to God. See why Paul prayed a special prayer for them. At least at first, maybe you are not in a church where people have money, but most of them knew how to go and help the man of God. You understand? Oh, when my father was a pastor and all that, you have people coming from the church. Oh, can I sweep here? What can I do? It's not like that this time. No. This time when it is Christmas, they are looking at the pastor. Man of God, it's Christmas. No, in the ministry, who should celebrate Christmas for who? In reality, who should give gifts in the church? Of course. The only people who need gifts will be people who are really like widows, old widows, orphans, people who don't really have nothing. And the church, they used to do in the Bible. You understand? But somebody who is working, who is okay, is looking at the pastor and say, Christmas is coming. Pastor, what are you doing for me? Say, oh, I'll pray for you. Say, oh, not that one. Mercy. Forgive me, time is up. Time is up. So, think of your partnership. You understand? Think of your partnership. There was a church in Nigeria, they called Dunamis Center, very big. They have over 500,000. You know what they do? When you bring somebody to church, they give you money. That is how Christianity has gotten to. This is where it has gotten to. Because nobody is, they should leave their work and go and do evangelism for church. So people will come to church. And what do? They don't care. So now the pastor says, okay, we are setting some money. You bring one person to church, this is how much you get. And they said, don't worry, pastor, we will finish the thing for you. They go everywhere, bring people. Then the church will pay them. One day you stand before Jesus and said, you brought 200 people to church and you got paid for it. I have nothing to give you. What would Jesus give you? You got your payment already from the church. They gave you money for bringing somebody to church. This is where it is now. This is how hard it is. This is how hard it is. There's somebody I work with. He's almost 70 years. He doesn't go to church. He doesn't even believe in God. He knows there is God, but he doesn't care. He told me one day, he says he knows he's going to hell. He doesn't care. He saw me preach and came to work and said, wow, I saw you preach. That was very good. I can be a manager, make a lot of money. That's what he said. He is ready to be my manager. He will connect me to preach and get money. And then we share 50-50. And people are doing it actually. They have people who connect them. They can market them. Go and preach, get the money and they share. It was not about, there's a church, I will not mention the name, in Ghana. Every year they do 40 days fasting and then they do a big program. Men of God will come and they have, you know the partnership they have? Platinum, silver partnership, gold partnership. So if you are platinum partnership, you are contributing over hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it is in a category. And then somebody who was very close, he said, look, when they meet and discuss about the program,